Today we are visiting Hanoi, capital of Vietnam, located in Southeast Asia. We'll be walking through the old quarter, absorbing the culture, walking through the bustling streets, enjoying the local cuisine, and the world famous Vietnamese iced coffee, and taking note of the unwavering resilience of the determination of the people who proudly call this fascinating city their home.
I'll show you how to cross the street in Hanoi. Let's look at the street first. So this is a two-way street, even though it don't say anywhere, but the trick is nobody's gonna wait for you. You just gotta do it yourself. You gotta make your way. There it goes. That's how you do it. Came here at this coffee shop to try the egg iced coffee. Good stuff. How much is it? Egg iced coffee. 40K. That's like $1.50. We are literally sitting on the sidewalk. There we have it. Egg iced coffee. She also gave some green tea with it. She's like, you want to try it together. Let's try it together. Wow. Let's try it. Yep. Oh. Wow. There's a hint of taste of egg, but not that much. So good. Let's try the tea. This is on the house, something like that. Wow. Very refreshing. It's cold.
After enjoying my iced coffee, which is one of many, it was time for me to take off to my next stop. The time I was in Hanoi was celebrating their Liberation Day, which is observed on October 10th of each year. It marks the day in 1954 when Vietnamese forces took control of Hanoi from the French colonial authorities, officially ending the French rule in the capital after the First Indochina War. Um, the liberation followed the decisive Battle of Dien Bien Phu, which was in May 7, 1954, which forced France to negotiate the Geneva Accords, leading to the withdrawal of the French troops from northern Vietnam. People's Army enters Hanoi on October 10th of 1954. The Vietnam's People Army was led by General Vo Nguyen Giap, who marched into Hanoi, marking the end of nearly 70 years of brutal French colonial rule. There are symbols of that time under the French rule throughout this exhibition time, where you can see, how the troops were fighting, where you can see the places they were hiding against the French. A lot of artists over here, they have painted the walls with things which are very significant to the Vietnamese culture, and also the movement that eventually led to the reunification of North and South Vietnam.
Wow. I think this is also representative of the war.
Very. My day two started the same way as my day one, iced coffee. But this time, I arrived at the famous train tracks and I went to this cafe. It's called Tuan Railway Cafe. Serves amazing coffee. It was extremely humid and hot that day, so I had to go back to my hotel, take a shower, change, come back out, and I stopped by at this cafe. to have a little mojito. This was probably the most fun interaction I had with someone. The owner of this cafe was super chill. Even though she did not speak any English, me and her we interacted through Google Translate. Kind of got to know her. Her son lives in Australia, and she runs his business by herself. Her husband also works, and her house was actually right behind the cafe. Which I got to find out it's a very common thing in Vietnam to have your business right in front of your house, or you have your house right behind business, however you want to take it. So it was a really good conversation we had. She told me she misses her niece and nephew. Here they are. They live in Australia. So she told me anytime they visit, like she always hugs them, and she can't wait to see them again.
That's your daughter, right?
Yeah, daughter, name Thu,
Okay.
Thu.
Okay. Let's make a video. Yeah.
Then she also told me next time I should bring my girlfriend.
Yeah. When in Vietnam, you have to come to Jao. It's a sweet lady right here. Say hi. That's her cafe. She got a lot of mocktails. Alcohol, no alcohol. Good stuff. You want a drink? 65K. That's like less than $3. She has a nice cafe. She was nice enough to record me, and she lives here. We had a whole conversation on Google Translate. Look at that. And this is by the train station. Look at that. She turned on the lights too.
Xin chào, Pakistan.
At this point, if you thought I was done with coffee, you out of your mind. Because I went back to Railway Tuan Cafe. He was also a chill guy. We had a great conversation. And I just wanted to try all of his popular coffees. So here's one of them. And make it two. I must say, the iced coffee over here was just off the hook. I've had so many iced coffees. I was caffeined up almost every day. But I still haven't had one bad iced coffee, which is amazing. So I would say, like, if you're ever visiting Vietnam or Hanoi and you love iced coffee, oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love every single cafe. As soon as I was leaving the cafe, I stumbled upon a mosque, and I was really surprised that wow, there are Vietnamese Muslims. I got to find out there's estimated 2 to 300 Muslims in Hanoi, and this mosque was built by Indian traders in 1885. So it's a very old mosque, and it's located right in the heart of the old quarter, making it very convenient for the tourist or the local Vietnamese Muslims. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I also did some touristy things, such as waiting for this infamous train that passes by this neighborhood, which has a lot of businesses, and a lot of people just line up just to have a glimpse. Tourists are not only here around daytime. So I came back at nighttime just to see. This place was packed, and I won't lie, it looks amazing at nighttime with all the lights on. It's very colorful, and I think the train does not come at nighttime. There's like usually like two or three trains, um, but it looks amazing at nighttime also. After that, I visited one of the most well-known historical sites in Vietnam, the Maison Centrale, which is also known as Hoa Lo prison. They also gave you these headsets, which kind of like explains the importance of different images or different artifacts, and you just have to like scan the barcode. So that was really helpful to kind of understand the history behind it. This was built by the French in 1896. The prison was constructed by the French colonialists to imprison Vietnamese political activists and revolutionaries fighting for independence. The name Maison Centrale is a French for central house, a common term for prisoners in French occupied territories. Over here, the Vietnamese revolutionaries suffered brutal treatment, overcrowding, and torture under French rule. Some prisoners managed to escape, notably in a daring 1932 tunnel escape. Most of the original prison was demolished in the 1990s to make way for modern buildings. However, a small section was preserved as a museum showcasing the relics and exhibits about its history. This is also the same prison where John McCain was held as a prisoner of war for 5 years during the Vietnam War. Then I ordered myself a Grab, which is a Vietnamese version of Uber, but also order scooters. And in this busy city, I would highly recommend that. So as the sun was setting, it was time for me to eat. I had a Vietnamese style doner kebab, which was pretty good actually. Then I just took a walk around the old quarter, kind of digest my food. And let me tell you, the old quarter was packed. This was the food street, and what I've heard, they do it every weekend. So definitely come here over the weekend. You're gonna have a great time. After all that walking, it was time for some freshly squeezed pomegranate juice. And let me tell you, this was so refreshing, especially in this hot weather. And then to end the night, we did a little more walking and an ice cream. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.